Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Ramon Preston Show. If you're coming on, I need you to hit that like button, hit that share button, tag Lolly Dolly everybody, and let them know Prophet Ramon and the squad. We are live in his house on this beautiful, beautiful day right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta, the ATL, baby. Welcome to the Ramon Preston Show. Please do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that share button, tag Lolly Dolly everybody. Today I'm going to be talking to you about, no, that's not the marker I want. Today I'm going to be talking to you about how to execute in your business, how to execute in your finances, how to execute as a W-2 employee, how do you execute as a network marketer, how do you execute as a minister, as a pastor, wherever you are in this in this world, on this planet, and whatever it is that you're doing that you're anticipating to see success in, there has to be a high level of execution. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So please hit the like button, hit the share button, tag somebody and let them know. Prophet Ramon, the squad, we are live in the house today, right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. I'm super excited. A few things I want to share with you all today, even outside of, excuse me, what we'll be discussing on execution. I want to talk to you about our Millionaire Mentorship program for those of you that really need an accelerated coaching and consulting program to be a part of. Maybe there's some things that you saying, I just have to do in 2022. I got to get these things done. I got to build my business. I got to go full time in ministry. I got to get enough money to pay for my salary and for my spouse salary and for us to be able to take care of our family. If there are some things that you just got to do in 2022 and you know you need the proper coaching and consulting and training, you need this type of support in your life, I want to give you an offer most likely that you can't refuse. And it's going to be an offer for you to be a part of our Millionaire Mentorship program. I'll talk more about it at the end of the show, but we have 3 tiers. And I'm really like obsessively committed to making you and to making a whole lot of people millionaires. I heard one philosopher say, if you want to be a billionaire, just figure out how you can make a whole lot of millionaires. And guess what? I got dreams and desires to be a billionaire. I truly believe in this lifetime, I can put forth enough effort, enough action, enough execution. I believe in this lifetime that I can gather enough data. I can learn and study and develop the muscle that I can become a billionaire. But in order for me to do that, I know a part of that is I got to figure out the best ways to create as many millionaires as possible. And so I've created this Millionaire Blueprint. It is an online business and financial training program. It's a wealth building system. It's my personal playbook that has brought me from hood figure to 7 figures. And guess what? A lot of people, they can talk about a lot of things about business. They could talk about a lot of things about finances. They could talk about investing. They could talk about wealth building. They could talk about entrepreneurship. But if you ain't got the numbers to back it up, if you ain't got the results, if you ain't got the proof, all they doing is just talking. And so I don't just talk the talk, I walk the walk. So we have a Millionaire Blueprint. It's an online virtual form of mentoring and coaching and consulting and training that we provide to give you 24 hours, 7 day a week, 365 day a year access. Is on demand. You can literally be mentored by me over the phone, from your computer, from a laptop. You could be in your car to and fro work, and you can listen to me. You can be trained, and you can walk through these lessons to learn what I know and what has brought me to where I am. But also we have a Millionaire Mentorship program. This program not only gives you access to our online training, but it also gives you access to me and to my team to provide accelerated coaching and consulting for you. Now, with that being said, because I'm gonna get here, I don't want to waste a whole lot of your time. With that being said, We have 3 tiers in our mentorship program. We have a gold tier, okay? We have a platinum tier, and we have a diamond tier. The gold tier gives you access to our blueprint, our online program. It gives you access to our weekly coaching. The platinum does as well. The diamond does as well. But what differentiates them is the platinum provides quarterly coaching check-ins. So if you know you need me and my team to check in with you, literally to sit down with you and to flesh through whatever you're putting together every quarter, then the diamond tier is going to work perfectly for you. But our platinum tier, but our diamond tier is the one, man, because we are giving people monthly check-ins with our diamond tier, and we are providing what we call Headquarter Days. So every Thursday we select a group of people. For the last 4 Thursdays of this year, I've had mentees, people that I've selected to come in and to literally work with me and my team all day. So imagine getting weekly coaching, imagine getting monthly coaching check-ins, imagine getting access to our online virtual training platform, and in addition to that, you're getting quarterly workshops and masterminds, but then you get monthly Headquarter Days. Monthly, you can come in and stand with me, sit with me, walk with me, talk with me, consult clients with me, and learn all the ins and outs. I'm bringing it up, y'all, because yesterday I was having a conversation, doing an overview after such a long day yesterday with our mentees that were here. They're basically interning, they're doing on-the-job training. We got them learning about systems, about coaching, about consulting, about training, about everything. We're just teaching them everything because, again, if I'm going to become a billionaire, I got to create millionaires. And if I'm going to create millionaires, I got to take what I do every day and I got to document it and I got to duplicate it to give it to other people to show them if you do this, this, and that, you're going to get these results. And so I got one of the greatest compliments yesterday from one of the individuals that were here. He may be watching. I ain't name dropping, so I just want to say to that person that what they said to me yesterday was powerful, because basically what he was saying was for him to be able to come in regularly like he has in this new year, just within the last few weeks, and to see how me and my team operate, and to be able to not just see me on this side of the camera when I'm on the show, but to be able to see behind the scenes and to see how I know how to navigate in so many different departments of my company and how to use certain technology and systems and processes, and to be able to understand it. He was like, man, it really shows him what type of effort, what type of execution you have to put into being successful in business. And that's why I say it. I want to show you how to execute today. I want to talk to you about this because all this week I've been talking about a lot of things. I've been telling you that if you are an entrepreneur, you need to take upon the mindset and the skill set of a coach and a consultant. It's going to make your products and services more valuable. It's going to give you more value in the marketplace. No longer are the days that you can just make a decision that you're going to start a business or you're going to sell a product or a service and you go out there and just crush it and think it's going to happen like that. And when you see certain people, especially on social media, who have gone to the marketplace, you know, they open up an online store and now they crushing it, making $1 million a month. And you got these people, a lot of them are exceptions to the rule. Most people who start online courses or online stores or start selling certain accessories or providing certain services, most of these people never ever make any money. Maybe you don't know that, but here are some statistics that I want you to know. Statistically, 9 out of 10 business owners don't even break even. Did you know that? 9 out of 10 business owners don't even break even. They don't even break even. So that means 9 out of 10 business owners, not only do they not even break even, meaning that they don't even get enough back based on what they put in to break even, but they lose money, 9 out of 10. And guess what? Depending on what community that you are in, that will determine if those numbers are higher or lower. For example, most black business owners, they're not only losing money, but they don't even have any employees to help them make money because they can't even afford to employ themselves. So depending on what community you go into, depending on what group of people you associate these statistics or surveys and studies to, it would determine if it's even worse, because most of the studies and the surveys and the statistics that we look at, they don't even apply to a lot of us that come from the hood. We come from the bottom. We got criminal records. We ex-addicts. We done been to jail. We done ran the streets. God had to save us and clean us up and keep us sober. Our credit was tore up when we were 17 years old because grandma them or mama them or sister or brother used our names to get phones or whatever. So we already starting out life with so many strikes against us. By the time we get to a point to where we are ready to actually be entrepreneurs and to be successful, and we want to get it together and learn how to build big businesses, we got so many strikes against us that we're already behind. We're already trying to play catch up. So the last thing we want to do is go into the marketplace and not have the right things that we need so that we can successfully execute. So that's what I want to talk to you about today. I want to talk to you about how to execute. And when I say execute, I'm talking about how do you wake up every day and make things happen that you can actually see progress. Because just to go out in the business world or to go to work every day or to start hustling in the marketplace every day doesn't mean you're gonna get results. It don't mean you're gonna see a positive outcome, because you could be busy but never really execute to handle your business. And so I want you to understand the difference between just being busy but actually executing to handle your business. So how do you execute? I'm gonna give you a few things that you need to stop doing even before I give you some things that you need to do, all right? So before you start doing some things, there may be some things you need to stop doing if you're gonna execute. So what are some things you need to stop doing? If you're gonna execute, how to execute? Let's talk about the things you need to stop doing. First of all, you need to stop. I hope this makes sense to you. You need to stop stopping. I want you to catch what I just said. How do you execute, Prophet Ramon? Well, guess what? First thing you need to do is stop stopping. You need to stop stopping. I want you to really catch what I'm saying. If you want to learn how to execute, the first thing you need to do is to stop stopping. You need to stop stopping. In other words, every time you start something, if it doesn't work within the next 2 weeks, you stop it. All right? So every 2 months, you stopping, you starting. You stopping, you starting. One day you gonna be this. The next day you gonna be that. Next month you want to pursue this. 3 months later you want to pursue that. Every time we see you on social media, you in transition, you resetting. God done gave you another idea, or you done found, like this treasure chest of revelation, and now you pursuing this. You have to stop stopping. I'm gonna give you another word for stopping. Another word for stopping is inconsistency. Inconsistency. I hope I'm spelling that right. Inconsistency. In other words, you're not consistent. So what you see me doing in my business, in my organization, in my life right now in 2022, whether you feel like I flex, whether you feel like I'm just bragging or whatever it is, everybody got their own opinions about people. But whatever you see me doing in 2022, you're not thinking about the last 18 years that me and my wife have had to consistently show up and fight the temptation to stop doing the things that we were doing, even when we were not really seeing a lot of positive results. So for example, My wife and I are just as involved in real estate today as we were 18 years ago when we got married and decided to be a two-person team. My wife was a real estate agent. I was going to school for real estate, but once we started talking about our dreams and our desires and our ambitions and aspirations, we realized that it was best for her to have her real estate license, and it was best for me to not have my real estate license, but at the time I could use my skill set to use a hammer, use some saws, put some drywall up, fix some toilets, do some electrical work, some plumbing. I knew my way around the house because my daddy was a carpenter. He was a master carpenter. He taught me everything about a house. My uncles knew about houses and real estate, and they knew about masonry. They knew about tile. They knew about carpets. They knew about roofs. Man, I learned everything from my daddy. And I'm talking about when I was like a little jitty bug, I used to always want to have me a carpenter's belt with my hammer, with my little nail, my little carpenter's nail in my ear, with my hat backwards. I wanted to be like him when I used to see him in the community fixing people's houses. But I learned a lot, and so I was able to use that when my wife and I decided to be a two-person team. But it was all about real estate. We started putting the pieces of the puzzle together. Now, why am I bringing that up? Because even though my wife and I wasn't making a whole lot of money when we first started, but guess what? If we had a client who wanted to buy a house and we could get them pre-approved with the financing, and we could find them, let's say, $100,000 house that may have been worth $130,000. If we put $5,000 or $10,000 in it, they could go into it with maybe $20,000 worth of equity, stay in it, let it continue to go up in value, and in a couple years they could sell it and move on with a nice, decent profit. Well, guess what happened? We could help them get the financing. We could be the agents that would represent them. Even if it was a $100,000 house, the commission might have been 3%. Well, that was $3,000 that we knew we could get just for representing them. You see what I mean? But guess what? Because we knew how to do the work, there may have been $5,000 or $6,000 or $7,000 worth of work that needed to be done. So let's say if there was $5,000 or $6,000 or $7,000 work that needed to be done, and then it was another $3,000 to buy the materials to get the work done. Well, that was another $7,000 that my wife and I could get because we could make sure the carpet get put down. We could paint the whole house. We could switch out fixtures and put brushed nickel in there and move all the old gold stuff out. We could provide those services, and that would mean we would have a $10,000 situation because we were willing to stop stopping. We wasn't looking at it as, man, we ain't making a whole lot of money. Man, we busting our butts just to make 10 grand. And this 10 grand may have drug out for 45 to 60 days as long as there wasn't no delays in closing, because we understood we needed to execute. And even though we could not buy the house ourselves and flip it and sell it because we didn't have the money, we didn't have the credit, we couldn't get the loan, but guess what? We looked at it as $10,000 is a starting point. So for those of you that are watching me and you're like, Ramon, I need to learn how to execute in 2022. I need to figure out how I can start moving the business needle and the financial needle of my life forward. Well, guess what? That means you got to learn to execute. Because see, if all you doing is listen to people like me on social media, if all you doing is following Prophet Ramon Preston and watching the Ramon Preston show, and you watching the free courses, and you're never leaning in to being held accountable. This is why coaching and mentoring is so important, because you got to be held accountable. The mentee that I was telling you about yesterday, who was telling me how coming here in our Millionaire Headquarter Days, how it has changed his mindset, was also talking about how accountability has really forced him and his wife to start progressing and moving forward and learning and growing, and guess what? Executing. because now they realize, oh, it's not just about me hearing information. It's not just about me following the gurus and the moguls on social media. It's not just about me getting training from Ramon Preston and learning the game. It's about me taking that and executing it in my life. But the first thing you got to do or not do or stop doing is you got to stop stopping. You got to make a decision that you're going to be all in it. And that's what my wife and I decided to do 18 years ago. And for the last 18 years, you have no idea what we have had to give up. You have no idea how many sacrifices we've made. You have no idea how much of a stretch it has been for us. All you may see is where we at right now. Oh, look at him. He flexing, he this, he that. He always rah-rahing. But you don't know the days we've cried. You don't know the days I've given up. You don't know how many times I've been to my wife or my spiritual leaders or my covering and said, listen, I think I'm crazy. I think I'm delusional. Can you just tell me what's going on? I don't know how many times I've asked my wife and the people that lead me those questions like, am I delusional? Am I just dreaming? Is it even possible? Because what I see people doing in life, the few people who are succeeding, can that even happen for me? I've had to be reminded of that many, many times, but at least I didn't stop. I did not stop. I kept figuring it out. And remember, a lot of the stuff that I share with you on this show, a lot of the stuff that I share in my programs, a lot of the information that I provide when it comes to holding companies and creative tax strategies and wealth building and investing, a lot of this stuff, nobody was giving that information out. And even if you paid for certain people to help train you, a lot of this information they were not given to you. There are many, many people who have paid courses, paid programs, paid consulting and coaching that they still do not provide certain information to show you how to properly start, structure, and scale a business to at least bring you to becoming a millionaire. And so it's very important for you to, number one, stop stopping. That's the first thing you need to learn how to not do if you're going to learn how to execute. So, excuse me. Execution requires you to stop stopping. Stop stopping. Just get up. Stop stopping. How many of y'all agree with me on that, by the way? If you agree with me, I want you to put in the comments how that resonates with you. What are some things that you start doing and you always stop? Because remember, a lot of people came into 2022. We what? Today is Friday. What is today? Friday the 28th. Today is Friday the 28th. So how many people started out with a resolution this year? How many people came into 2022? Man, we finna crush it. We finna kill the game. We finna do the doggone thing. They said that on December the 31st. December 31st, everybody hanging out, watching night service, end of the year celebration. Man, I'm finna crush it. 2022, my year. We finna go all the way up. This my year to be a millionaire. Okay, well, it's January 28th. Now, what have you done in the last 29 days? What have you done? What have you done? Not just what you read. I ain't just talking about what you heard. I ain't just talking about what you've been watching. I ain't talking about what you've been training on. I ain't talking about what kind of education you got. What have you executed? And if you're still telling me, well, I'm still working on the kinks on this thing, or I'm still trying to figure out how to take this to the market, guess what's happening? You are failing by default because your success is dependent upon your execution, not just your education. So the first thing you need to do, which is a backwards way of saying it, but you need to stop stopping. Another thing you need to do if you're going to execute is you need to stop saying no. Stop saying no. Stop saying no. And trust me, if you're really listening to what I'm saying and it's really setting into your mind, you know there are a lot of things you start and stop too regularly. You're too inconsistent. You're too iffy. You're too wishy-washy. And if you're a person that always starts and stops stuff just because you ain't feeling it, just because you disappointed, just because people back out. You know how many things I start with people and they stop and I still move forward? Because so what? My start is not dependent on them. I already started knowing that if you ain't gonna keep up with me, maybe you ain't gonna finish with me. But guess what? I'm gonna finish this thing. And while I'm moving in it, I'm figuring out better ways to do it because at least I started. Now, the next thing is stop saying no. Stop saying no. Stop saying no. Prophet Ramon, what do you mean by stop saying no? You say no to too much stuff. You say no to too much stuff. If you're given an opportunity to go somewhere, you say no. Oh, I forgot. You know why you say no? Because it costs money. Man, ain't nobody got no doggone money for that. Well, you're saying no to it. How about say yes? How about say yes? And then you just let your yes provide the creativity to figure out how you could get the money. But if you always saying no to everything, no to everything, I ain't got time, I can't make it. So I invite, man, let me tell you something. I just had a sales and marketing mastermind, a workshop last Saturday. I just had a workshop last Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. From 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. So from 10 to about, we started a little late, so it might have been about 10:30 we got started. So from about 10:30 to 12:30, we talked about marketing. We went to lunch, and I was still in the room hanging out, just trying to answer questions. I was interacting with the people who was live virtually. And then at 2 o'clock, we started back, and we went from about 2, and we didn't get out of there till maybe 6 something because we started praying for people and prophesying to people and speaking life over people. And we were talking about sales in the second part. But don't you know, and I hope if you're watching this that you don't get offended, and maybe you need to get offended so that you can start executing. But don't you know there are people that I gave a free VIP pass to, I gave a free VIP ticket to show up, and they didn't show up. And I'm not offended by it because I'm winning. They didn't show up. A free pass. They didn't show up. Of course, there are some people who pay to be in my coaching program. They paid thousands of dollars to be mentored by me, and they didn't show up. For whatever the reasons are, I don't know. But here's what I do know. Here's what I do know. The fact that they did not show up proved that they said no to what was given. Well, no, I ain't say no. Yes, you did say no. So we got to stop lying to ourselves. You did say no. You said no if you didn't show up. Because nothing was more important than showing up if I want to succeed. I want to get better at sales. I want to get better at marketing. So I'm going to give you another example. So I'm a part of a coaching and mentoring program that a billionaire leads, and he's headquartered in Miami. So a lot of you might see me go back and forth to Miami a lot. Well, I'm not down there loafing on the beach. When you see me hanging out, I might have my little t-shirt on. I might be hanging. It may be after the event. But when I'm down there in Miami, I'm literally in training all day. Those training sessions and those masterminds and those boot camps and all those events that we go to down there, me and many other, it'd be hundreds, sometimes it'd be thousands of people. Many of these people are millionaires. Some of these people are billionaires. These people are hungry. Those are the kind of people that I've surrounded myself with, because I ain't got time to be around people who want to lose, who want to make excuses, who want to keep stopping and keep saying no. I've already been around those kind of people. I know what that leads to. All that leads to is more depression, more struggle. I ain't got time for that. I've already done that. I got the t-shirt and the hat at the house. Matter of fact, I don't have it at the house. I got rid of the t-shirt and the hat. So my point is, I go down there, right? And when I initially joined this program, which is a big ticket program. You paying tens of thousands of dollars. Sometimes, depending on how far you go up, you're gonna pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to be around billionaires and millionaires and to get the kind of information that they're sharing with you. But guess what? I could have chosen to go to every event virtually. Every event I could have went virtually. They give you an option. You can join us in person, or you could join us virtually. Guess what I chose to do? I chose to go in person because I'm not saying no, because I already know, KNOW, that me showing up in person, despite COVID, whatever, despite restrictions of travel, I already know that showing up in person is my way of saying yes. And me showing up virtually is my way of saying no. And I wanted to say yes. Yes to what? Yes to shaking hands with people. I wanted to say yes to what? Yes to seeing people in person and saying, hi, my name is Ramon Preston. I wanted to say yes to what? Yes to when I first went there to my first in-person event, I had an opportunity to stand in front of hundreds of people in person and thousands of people virtually and let them know who I was, because I made such an impression with the leaders and the executives that were in there. So my point is, I wouldn't have had that opportunity sitting behind no doggone computer. I definitely wouldn't have had the opportunity if I would have been like, well, no, man, this just ain't a good week. You know, my old lady, she this, and you know, my kids that, my grandbaby this. Man, listen, I'm winning for all y'all. So when I say yes to something that's going to benefit us, don't look at it as if I'm saying no to you. And guess what? It may be a no to you for the day, but this no to you and this yes to whatever I'm doing is going to benefit you at some point. So again, the way to learn how to successfully execute is to stop stopping, stop starting, and then stopping. Then you start again. Then you stop again. I done already talked to people within the first 28 days of this year who done started and stopped 30 times. They ain't going nowhere fast. They don't know if they coming or going. It's like you keep starting, you keep stopping. You don't know what you want to do. For me, I'm going to just keep showing up. When I start, I'm going to just keep showing up. And I'm going to keep showing up and I'm going to keep figuring it out. But at least I'm not stopping. So number one, you need to stop stopping, okay? Don't keep starting and stopping. And number two, you gotta stop saying no. Stop saying no to opportunities. Stop saying no to going places. If people who are doing great things invite you to something, come, show up. If somebody offers you something that you know can benefit you, stop saying no. Say yes. And then once you say yes, figure out how you can execute on that yes. If it costs you money, if it costs you time, if it costs you energy, if it costs you relationships, whatever it costs you. I was just telling my personal assistant earlier when we were sitting down doing some briefing and strategizing on some new things that we're implementing. I was just telling her that for everyone that comes to our headquarter days, because we have our headquarter days on Thursday. And so all of our diamond members who are in our mentorship program, we give them an opportunity to schedule a Thursday to come in at least once a month and to shadow me and to see everything that we do. Because if you see everything that I do, and I'm a millionaire mogul and I'm building a multi-million-dollar business right before your eyes, and you're able to come in and see it, all that stuff that people think they know on the other side of the cameras, on the other side of computers, on the other side of social media, that means nothing when you can come and see firsthand what we're actually doing. Because this is a real office. We have an office suite right here in Buckhead, across from the JW Marriott, across from Lenox Mall, down the street from Fitz Plaza in Buckhead. So to some people, that's showing off. Hey, whatever you call it, it is what it is. To other people, it's setting an example for them to see this is what a successful organization looks like. This is what you do when you're executing on a massive level. You get what I'm saying? But I was just explaining to her that the people who are coming into our mentorship program and who are accepting to become diamond member mentees, we're not giving them an option to come in on a Sunday or a Saturday because they got to work Monday through Friday. So take a day off a month. In other words, if you're going to say no because you got to go to work, well, go talk to your boss and tell your boss, listen, I'm building a business. And one day a month during the week, I'm not going to be able to come in. So 1 week a month, one of those Thursdays, I'm going to take off. Don't come to me and say, oh, Prophet Ramon, I want you to teach me to be a millionaire, but I'm going to say no to that. I'm not going to be able to do that. Why? Because I'm stuck in a box over here having to do what I don't want to do, thinking that at some point something is going to change. No, what's going to change is I'm going to say yes to you, and I'll figure out how to say no to them. Because what I'm not going to do is say yes to an opportunity to learn to become a millionaire. So I was just explaining that to her, that no, I'm not giving people an option for me to have to come in here on a Saturday because it works for them, because they work a job. No, 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 no. You figure out how to say yes to the opportunities, because I didn't get to where I am by saying no to my mentors, by saying no to my spiritual leaders, by saying no to opportunities for me to show up to events knowing that nobody was going to pay me anything. I just needed to show up. But me showing up, even if I didn't get nothing out of it, it built the muscle for me to learn that I should never not show up. I should always be willing to say yes if I know it's going to benefit the greater good of what I'm doing. Does that make sense? All right, so now let's get into some positive things that you can do to execute. First thing is you got to have a goal. You got to have goal. I'll say goals, because you should have more than one goal. You got to have goals. So you should have business goals. You should have financial goals. You should have personal goals. These are all the goals you should have. This is how you execute on a whole nother level. You need to have goals. You need to have goals. What are goals? Goals are dreams with plans. This is how you execute. This is the positive thing you can do to execute, is you got to have a goal. Man, that alkaline water is good. You got to have a goal, okay? And to have a goal means you got to have dreams with plans. So if I need to have goals and my goals are dreams with plans, then that means I need to look at my business and figure out what are my dreams for my business. So let's say, for example, you have a business goal to be full-time, right? You may have a business goal to hire someone to help you, okay? You may have a financial goal that you want to be debt-free, or you want to just be a millionaire. Let's say that. You have a personal goal that you want to travel this year, and you know what? You also want to be healthy. Just give you an example. Okay, those are goals. Those are dreams. Now, what makes these things goals is that they are really dreams you have, and you are able to attach those dreams with plans. So just because you write down this quote unquote goal and say, oh man, I want to be full-time in business. I want to hire an employee. I want to be debt-free. I want to be a millionaire. I want to travel. I want to be healthy. Just writing that down doesn't mean it's going to happen, because there's no incentive for execution. Remember, this is how you execute. So now I've got to figure out, how can I convert this information into something that is easy for me to digest so I can start executing. Let me give you an example of how you do it. Let's say if you want to be full-time as an entrepreneur. That's your goal, right? Full-time business. Well, now you got to take that and you got to quantify it with a number. In order for you to be full-time in business, how much money do you need to make every year? Let's just say if it was $50,000, okay? So at $50,000 a year, I could be full-time in business. Now I need to look at, what are my products and services? What am I actually selling? If you have certain products and services that you know you can sell and there's a certain dollar amount to it, then you take the dollar amount of the products and services and you divide this dollar amount into what you know you need for a year. So for example, if you have a $200 product, let's say for example, you divide this $200 product into 50,000. And so that would mean that you would have to sell 250 products this year in order to make 50,000 so you could be full-time in business. So now, how do you sell 250 products? Well, that may require you to send emails out, calls, give presentations, network. You may need to get coached in that business. There are a whole lot of things that you need to do. And now, once you figure out, okay, I want to be full-time in business, that's my goal, right? I quantify it by saying, in order for me to be full-time for 1 year in business, I may need 50,000 minimum. In order for me to make 50,000, I need certain products and services that I know I can sell. So I have $200 products and services. If I sell 250 of them, I can make 50 grand and be full-time. How can I sell 250? Well, I got to send emails out. I got to get coached. I got to make calls. I got to give presentations. I got to network. And the reason why you probably need to get coached, because you might not know how to market. You might not know how to sell. You might not have the right products and services packaged correctly. You might not know how to price them. You might not know how to build a business system so that you can go out there and actually make 50 grand or sell 250 $200 products. But once you realize that these are the things you need to do, now you need to get a number on how many of these things do I need to do? How many emails do I need to send out? How many calls do I need to make? How many presentations do I need to give? How many people I need to network with before I sell one $200 product? I'm giving y'all the game. I'm giving y'all the game. So once I sell one $200 product, guess what I can do? I can go back and document what I just did to sell one $200 product. So now, if I sent out 10 emails, if I did 10 presentations, if I went to 5 networking events, and if it cost me, let's say, $2,000 to be coached before I sold one $200 product, at least I have a process that I can document. These are all the steps I would need to take. Because if I did this to get that, guess what I need to do? I need to do this over again. So if I do 10 more emails, 10 more presentations, 5 more networking events, $2,000 on coaching, maybe $1,000 on marketing, right? Maybe another 1,000 to hire an assistant or something. all of a sudden I sell 5 $200 products. Now I can just keep duplicating it until I get to 250. This is how you execute. All that other stuff people be talking about don't mean nothing. I was just consulting a client yesterday on a coaching call who joined our mentorship program, and she was telling me about another professional that she was working with that was, helping her put a business plan together. And I was like, that business plan ain't gonna make you no money. Execution is what's gonna make you money, especially if you have the right execution. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna end there. I have so much information I could share with you, but I want you to really consider what I talked about at the first part of this show today, and that is for you to allow me and my team to mentor you. If you know you need business and financial mentoring, you need training, you need coaching and consulting, I'm extending an offer to you. And again, we have an online virtual business and financial wealth building system where you can be trained virtually every day of the week as much as you want to. But we also have a Millionaire Mentorship program, which we've packaged as an accelerated coaching and consulting program. It includes our virtual platform, but it also includes weekly coaching calls, quarterly mastermind workshops, quarterly or either monthly coaching check-ins, depending on what tier you need to join. And I would even challenge you that if you know you need monthly coaching, you know you need weekly coaching calls, you know you need to come in at least once a month and hang with me and my staff to see how we operate and move. If you know that's going to help you become a millionaire, you got to say yes. You got to say yes. Like, I'm talking to people in my community on another level this year. I'm like, come on, y'all got to stop goofing off and say yes to some stuff. You ain't saying yes to enough stuff. You got to start saying yes to some stuff. Even if you don't have the money, even if you don't know how you're going to do it, say yes, make a commitment, and then let your creativity work you through the process of fulfilling the commitment and the execution of your yes. So I want to challenge you today to take into consideration our Millionaire Blueprint and our Millionaire Mentorship program. If you want me to tell you more about it and you would like to at least ask some questions on what the other benefits are and how it can benefit you with what you're doing in your business or your finances, just text the word millionaire to me right now. Text the word millionaire to 404-478-7213. I want you to text that word millionaire to me today and give me an opportunity to share with you what our Millionaire Blueprint is about, our online training program, what our mentorship program is about, and perhaps if you allow us to share the information with you, once you text the word millionaire to us, we will walk you through a brief assessment to help you identify with how our program, how our products and services, how our training, our coaching and consulting can actually help you with your business and with your finances. So I hope that all of you got some value out of not just today's show, but everything that we have literally shared with you this week. I have literally taken every day this week in this 5-part series to share with you literally all the details on how I have done what I have done to build this amazing organization here and how it's continuing to grow every day, because there's never a dull moment here at Ramon Preston Enterprises. And I may be one of the few people that you know literally lives his life as an open book. And that's not just my personal life, but it's also my entrepreneurial life. I open it up to share it with my community, okay? Even though you have to join my mentorship program, you have to be in my programs or in my ecosystem, my business community, to get the information, but everything has a price. And guess what? Sometimes the price shouldn't be more important as the value of the opportunity that comes with the price, because I have to pay to get access. I have to pay to be in certain rooms. I have to pay to get information. I have to pay to get assistance. Nobody calls a lawyer and say, hey dog, let me get that for free. Nobody calls a doctor and say, hey, can you just do this on the house? I just need you to fix on me. No, that's not how we roll in business. We pay for what we need and for what we want, and we get what we need and want, and we continue to grow, and it gives us more of an incentive to want to pay more, because we want people to treat us the way we treat other people. So text the word millionaire. Let's talk today while we're here. We want to help you. We want to serve you. Get to your next level. And I would love for you who decide to join our Diamond Mentorship program, I would love for you to jump in now so that we can schedule you for our next Millionaire Headquarter Day. So you can come and spend a day with me. The stuff you're gonna learn is amazing. Like, we ain't just goofing off here. I'm telling you, we doing the doggone thing. We making it happen. And we're continuing to grow every day. So I love y'all. I want y'all to have an amazing weekend. I look forward to seeing you here, same place, same time, on Monday on the Ramon